Hey, all right, so we're at, I think, week 4 of our Go Live session. Just want to make sure everything's working here. So awesome. Thank you so much for joining me. Sorry about my voice. I promise that once we get up and going, that it'll probably clear up a whole lot. Today I'm wearing sneakers. I don't normally wear sneakers in the house, / ever. Couple of updates. One, tomorrow I'm doing a pop-up class, 8:30 to 9:30. Come, bring some friends, let everybody know about it. We're going to do total body head to toe, so I promise big calorie output, 60 minutes. Usually my classes are 45 minutes, so I'm giving you a bonus 15. And then another thing, so this video thing, I'm starting to really enjoy it. It's a little awkward talking only to myself, I'm not going to lie, but I'm starting to get a little bit more used to it. I think once the winter time hits, maybe even like November, December, so slightly before it's officially winter, I'm going to take my classes and do them totally from my office space. Do you love it? Do you love my office? We've got a walker, pretend car, pretend dog, wipes, baby wipes. They're like the greatest thing ever. If you don't have a child, go out, buy some baby wipes, do yourself a favor. We use them for everything. I clean almost everything with the baby wipes. It's too funny. I don't know why I didn't know that I needed them before. All right, so enough talking crap. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to turn sideways, but go ahead and face any direction you like. Take a nice deep inhale, reach up tall as you exhale, take that forward fold, dive down into that pool, hang here for just a second. Really press those glutes up toward the ceiling. You want to feel that nice stretch in the back of the legs. We're also letting those hips relax, so if you've been sitting for the last couple of hours, this is going to do your body some good. I forget if I've already told you, but evidently we carry our tension in our hips, so quite often we have a lot of ex-boyfriends hanging out in there. All right, let's take those hands, walk them forward. We're going to come into a high plank pose. So option 1 is on your toes. If you hate this, you can always drop down to your knees. The focus with the plank is that you want to pull that belly button in toward the spine, squeeze up through the glutes, tighten through the back, really zip up through the inner thighs, pressing them right against gravity. We're holding here. Again, plank, my favorite exercise. The body's starting really to get warm. It's a great warm-up. Let's take those hands. We're going to walk them back to the toes. Press the hips up a little bit higher toward the ceiling. Take a nice deep inhale here. And on your next exhale, we're going to walk the hands out again. Lowering those hips down. Bringing that body to about one flat board above that floor. Still pulling the belly button in toward the back. Let's walk those hands to the toes. So a little bit quicker, we're going to continue with these walkouts. I want those shoulders to get nice and warmed up. Taking just a small pause for that body to flatten. And just a couple more like this. Excellent. Really keeping the rest of that body nice and still. Maintaining that nice in and out with that breath. I want you to take one more full one. We're going to meet in plank pose. And remember, you can always drop down to those knees if you need to. So really squeezing through everything. Press those palms down into the floor. Take that outside leg, drive it up toward the ceiling. Give a little pause, lower down, switch sides. Continuing this with just a little bit of a pause in the back of that leg as that heel comes up. So that leg is only coming about as high as that neck and spine. We're not doing anything too crazy, no hyperextension there in the back. So those arms should be nice and warm by now. Really pressing, like I said, through the palms. You really want to press through the biceps too. So you're getting basically a total body exercise here with this plank pose. And the plank is something that you can do almost anywhere. Let's go one more each side. And we're going to hold that plank position. Hold, squeeze. Your last couple of breaths here, I promise. Let's go ahead and drop to those knees. Sit back on those heels really quickly. Try to get all the weight to those feet. Let's take one arm, drop it down, rotating that shoulder towards the ground. Taking a peek at the fingertips that are stretched out to the side. Reposition your body back to center. Take the same thing, other side. Always making that body nice and even. And let's come back. We're going to come into tabletop position. I'm just going to flip sideways. It's easier for you to see. So, with those shoulders right over top the elbows and the wrists, take one leg, extend it out to the side. We keep it hovered above the floor, flexing through that heel, guiding with the outside of that shoe, outside of that foot. We're just going to lift and lower a couple times here. I know we've done this before. We'll add on today. Keep that leg extended, lift it above the floor. Take that heel, drive it into the glute, and extend away. So I want you to focus on keeping that leg lifted nice and high. You're going to feel this in that outer thigh area as that leg comes out to that starting position. And really squeeze up through the back of that leg. The tighter you make that hamstring, the more effective this exercise. Give me 2 more. And we're going to keep this leg out to the side, point the toes away from you. I want small circles to the back. They're teeny tiny. They're only about golf ball size. Couple more. And let's bring it to the front. We've got 5 of these. 4, 3, and let's go ahead, bring that leg in. Sit back on those heels. Shift that weight toward that working leg. Give a little stretch for that butt. And before we get to the other side, let's bring ourselves back up into tabletop, so back onto all fours. Those knees are only about 2-3 inches apart. That leg that was just working, go ahead and extend it back behind the body and reach that opposite arm straight out ahead of you. From here, I want you to take that hand and bring it to the outside. Bring that working leg back to the outside. So, those limbs are moving in opposition. If you hate this, you can just choose to move one body part. If you like that higher option, go ahead and move both. Remember, you're really pulling that belly button in toward the spine. Kind of a workout for the body and the brain here. And go ahead and relax those arms and legs down. Reposition that body. I want you to take that opposite leg. We're bringing it out to the side, hovering it just above that floor, flexing that heel, and you're raising and lowering. Try and keep the rest of that body nice and still. Good, give me 2 more. And we're going to keep this leg lifted. I want you to drive that heel right in toward the tushy, squeeze through the back of that body, and then extend away. Drive it in, tighten up, and extend away. Remember, we're trying to keep that leg nice and still. That kneecap should be pointed right toward me. Good, give me 2 more. Uh-oh, the baby's awake, can you hear that? He can babble for a bit. Point those toes away, and those small circles to the back. And to the front, please. You have just 5 of these. 4, 3, 2, and relax that leg in. Go ahead, sit back on those heels, shift that weight. So Natalie, I don't think Natalie's probably watching, but she, my friend Natalie started posting a whole lot of delicious recipes. You should check out her website. It's runfitcoaching.com. Oh my gosh, they look amazing. Totally helps me with my meal prep, my meal planning. Sometimes I start to get in a rut, and I make the same things over and over and over. And that's just no fun. All right, let's take that working leg, extend it straight back behind. Opposite hand comes in front. Remember, we're opening up in opposite directions here, and we're driving back in. Again, you can always take that hand away and just let that leg move if you're uncomfortable with that balance. A couple more here. And let's go ahead, relax that upper body, relax that lower. One last time, sit on those heels. Really stretch with those hands out front. Give me 2 more breaths here. Awesome, let's go ahead and shift gears. We're going to come into another tabletop position, but this time we're coming belly up. So, feet are flat on the floor. Hands are right underneath those elbows, right underneath those shoulders. I want those fingertips to point in the same direction as those toes. I want you to squeeze through the back of the body, tighten up those glutes. Imagine that you're holding that penny right in between those cheeks. And you're going to lift that midsection up and away from the floor. So we'll hang out here to start. We're still squeezing through the back of that body, through that butt. We're trying to press those hips up toward the ceiling nice and high. And from here, let's take those heels away from the ground. Oh man, we just added a layer. You should feel this in the butt, you should feel this in the hamstrings. Dig those toes straight down into the ground. From here, let's lower the hips down and press them straight back up. So we're lowering down and lifting up. Imagine that you have 2 ropes, one on each hip bone, pulling you right up toward the ceiling. Give me 2 more. And let's go ahead, hold at the top, still squeezing the back of the body. You can go ahead, relax those heels down. Hold 3 breaths. 2. And nice and easy, still squeezing through the back of the body. Go ahead, lower the butt down toward the floor. We want to get those glutes somewhat close to those heels. 1 vertebrae at a time, so 1 tiny backbone at a time. Go ahead, roll down onto that floor. We're going to squeeze up through the glutes once again. And we're going to lift those hips right back up toward the ceiling. So again, you're in about that flat line from knees through the hips up to the shoulders. Let's go ahead and take 1 leg away. We're raising it right up toward the ceiling. I want you to lower down. So we're extending through that hip and drop back into flex. Extending down and flexing in. That foot that's on the floor, really pressing into the floor. You're going to fire up that inner thigh. The inner thigh area always gets neglected for some reason, but it's an important muscle group. 2 like this, 2 more. And let's keep that leg lifted up. Point those toes toward the lights. Give me little drops down with the hips and press up to the ceiling. Lower down and press. Again, still focusing on pushing that flat foot right into the ground. You're getting those hamstrings. 2 more. And let's hold those hips up. Reposition that body. Take a couple of breaths here. Make sure that weight is evenly distributed between those 2 feet and those 2 shoulder blades. Let's go ahead and take that opposite foot, lift it up and away from the floor. We're going to lower that leg down and draw it back in. Lowering down and flexing in. Trying to keep the rest of that body nice and still. And let's keep that leg lifted up. That standing leg, that leg that's on that floor. Let's go ahead and lower through the hips and press. Good, still squeezing those glutes, squeezing up through the inside of that standing leg. Give me 2 more. Press those hips up, lower that foot down, holding here. Just a couple of breaths. Good, give me 3 more. 2. And again, nice and easy, 1 backbone at a time, comes down onto the floor, still squeezing through the glutes. Let's just do an exercise or 2 here while we're on our backs. On your next exhale, I want you to lift the shoulders up and away from the floor. Tuck your chin toward your chest. Draw both knees in toward the body. Let's take both those legs, reach them straight up. I want you to really press those inner thighs together. Again, you have Velcro, you have something that's holding them together. Really squeeze, squeeze, squeeze up in between them. We're going to lower those legs down, hold here, and drive them back in nice and slowly. I'm the queen of doing movements slowly. Makes everything a little bit tougher. Good. So just a teeny bit of space between that chin and chest, pulling that belly button down into the floor. Eyes are about on top of those thighs or on that navel. Give me 2 more here. Press those legs together. And we're going to maintain this upper ab curl. Draw one knee in toward the body. Let that opposite leg out. You can give a little bit of support on that leg if you need it. I want those shoulders up and I want you pulsing. Teeny tiny ups and downs. Just that normal crunch. Make it a little harder. You can take those hands away. You can really feel the difference when those hands are away from that leg versus when they're on there for a little bit of support. You've got 3 more. 2. Let's go ahead and keep these shoulders up. Switch sides. Little ups and downs. Teeny pulses. Your challenge here is to keep the shoulder blades lifted up and away from the floor whole time. Let's go 4 more. 3, 2, hold at the top, hold, and relax down. Awesome. Take a little breather here. You can shake out side to side if you need. Let's go ahead and roll over onto the belly for the last couple of minutes. I want you to take those legs. We're lifting them up and away from the floor. So no kneecaps, no thighs are touching the ground. Head, you can rotate so that that cheek is resting on top of the hand, or you can keep it lifted. It's up to you. We're doing teeny heel beats here. So quickly tapping the backs of those feet together toward one another. We're really squeezing through the glutes, through the inner thigh, a little bit for those hamstrings. These are quick, 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 quick. Good. You can even hear that tapping of my shoes, I'm sure. Give me 8 more. 7, 6, 4 more. 3, 2. Awesome. Relax those legs down. Tuck those toes under. Hands are coming right underneath the shoulders. Belly button in. Elbows in by your side. Eyes down. We're pressing up into a plank pose. And I want you to just hold here. Hang out here for the last 30 seconds or so. Focusing again on squeezing everything in that body. It should be one flat board, immovable, shoulders right over top those wrists. Hold here for 4 more. 3, 2, awesome. Let's take those hips, we're gonna hike them up toward the ceiling. I want you to make about a V, an upside down V. Let those heels hang down toward the ground. Give another little stretch here for the back of those legs. Let's take one leg, bring it through those hands. Let that back knee drop down just a little bit. You're in that runner's lunge. If you hate this raised knee, you can always bring it down to the ground. Up to you. On every exhale, you should be able to get a little bit deeper into that stretch. Let's go ahead and switch up the feet. That front knee is tracking right over top that front ankle, hanging up behind the toes. Oh, this is a good one for opening up the hips. Let's go 3 more breaths. And let's go ahead and bring those legs together. Roll up nice and easy, 1 vertebrae at a time. Round those shoulders to the back. Awesome job. Thank you so much for joining me. So next Friday, same time, same place. I'm going to keep this video posted on my page. And like I said, the further that we get into the colder temps and the crappy weather, the more I'm going to be doing indoor workouts. So keep your eyes peeled. See you next time.